The brain is by far the most metabolically active organ in the body. Because it's small, it's only 2 or 3% of our body weight, but it uses up about 25% of what you've eaten. When you're really stressed or really focused, it's using up a third of what you've eaten. But I don't think that anybody wakes up in the morning and really thinks, what should I eat today so I can make really good decisions?
So in this video, we will focus on what foods we should eat that benefit our brain to stay healthy and young. We will learn this from none other than Dr. Tara Swart, top neuroscientist and former psychiatric doctor. She is a senior lecturer at MIT and King's College London, and an executive advisor and coach to world leaders in media and business. Her best-selling book, The Source, Open Your Mind, Change Your Life, has taught millions on how to master our minds. The neuroscientist continues to share her knowledge on how to create the right conditions in the body to optimize the brain health.
People think, I need to eat because I'm hungry. I'll make certain choices about what to eat because I don't want to put on weight. I'm trying to build muscle, or I'm going to run a marathon. I just sort of think that it's important to turn that round and think about the nutrition that's important for your brain.
We will first learn top 5 foods for brain health, followed by 3 supplements excellent for the brain and nerve system. We will study 3 surprising types of foods we should avoid, and Dr. Tara Swart will also discuss how we can use intermittent fasting to help brain stay healthy and young. First and most important for brain is DHA.
DHA omega-3s, because your brain is 60% fat and 90% of that is DHA, which you can't produce naturally. So this is a non-negotiable essential for your life.
Where can we get DHA naturally?
DHA, which is really only found in oily fish, but now we know you can get it really sustainably from algae or seaweed as well. If you don't eat fish, then you pretty much do need to supplement it. If you do eat fish, you actually need to be eating 3 portions of oily fish per week. That can be tricky for people. It's one of the basic building blocks of many cells, but brain cells particularly, and that's why children are often given omega oils.
Most seaweeds contain omega-3 fatty acids, but the richest plant-based sources of DHA come from microalgae, which are often consumed as supplements rather than as whole seaweed. Microalgae are the primary sources of DHA in the marine food chain. Oily fish obtain their DHA by consuming microalgae, so microalgae supplements are a direct plant-based way to get DHA. Some seaweeds or macroalgae, such as nori, wakame, and spirulina, may contain small amounts of omega-3s, including DHA and EPA, but the levels are typically lower than in fish or microalgae. For significant DHA intake from plant sources, microalgae supplements are the most efficient. Next are colorful berries and vegetables that are full of anthocyanin.
At least 65 grams, half a small pack of blueberries, blackcurrants, blackberries, cranberries or cherries, for anthocyanins, which are antioxidants that protect against the wear and tear processes of everyday life.
Eating 30 different plant products a week and varying the color as much as possible.
Anthocyanins, found in colorful fruits and vegetables like berries and red cabbage, are powerful antioxidants that promote overall health. They reduce inflammation, support heart health by improving blood vessel function, and protect brain cells from oxidative damage, potentially boosting memory and cognition. Additionally, anthocyanins may help prevent cancer by neutralizing free radicals and inhibiting tumor growth. Next is green leafy vegetables, which are hydrating and essential minerals for the nerve system.
Leafy greens also have a lot of magnesium in them, which is good for stressed people.
Magnesium is essential for brain health, supporting cognitive function by regulating neurotransmitters crucial for learning and memory. It helps reduce stress and anxiety by managing the body's stress response and influencing serotonin production, which improves mood. Additionally, magnesium offers neuroprotective benefits by shielding brain cells from oxidative stress and inflammation, potentially lowering the risk of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. It also promotes better sleep by calming the nervous system, further contributing to optimal brain function and overall mental well-being. Magnesium-rich foods include leafy greens, nuts and seeds, whole grains, legumes, avocados, dark chocolate, fatty fish, and bananas. Next food great for brain is eggs.
Eggs are also, have choline in them, so they're also good for your brain. So trying to include one or most of those things on a daily basis.
Choline is important for brain health because it supports the production of acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter involved in memory, mood, and cognitive function. It also plays a key role in the development of the brain and nervous system, particularly during pregnancy and early childhood. Choline helps maintain the structure of cell membranes and protects brain cells by supporting proper communication and signaling. Foods rich in choline include eggs, liver, fish, chicken, dairy products, soybeans, cruciferous vegetables, and peanuts. Eggs are one of the highest food sources of choline, with an impressive 147 milligrams per large egg. That's about 25% of your day's choline requirement from just one egg. Next is water.
But I'm just really surprised by how many people hardly drink any water, and certainly not close enough to what you should drink. So the formula is half a litre for every 15 kilos of your body weight per day. And if you drink quite a lot of caffeine or alcohol, then you need to add in an extra glass of water to make up for that, because they actually make you release water from your cells. They're diuretics. I always say to people, you wouldn't drive your car to work if you hadn't filled it up with oil and water. But you get out of bed in the morning, grab a coffee, don't drink any water, and expect to be a really great manager or leader today. You've got this huge digital transformation on your hands, and your brain cannot work properly without water. You know, it's like it underpins all of the electrical and chemical processes that go on between our neurons and other cells, muscle cells, and gut cells and things.
Now, let's explore gut health, which plays a crucial role in supporting brain health.
There's a lot of neurons in the gut, and there's a strong nerve connection between the gut and that limbic part of the brain, which is the emotional and intuitive part of the brain. What we know now is that there is actually a three-way communication between the gut neurons, the gut bacteria, and the brain. The gut bacteria obviously has an effect on the gut neurons itself and the gut lining, but it also separately sends chemical messages in the blood directly to the brain. So the gut bacteria talk to the gut neurons and the brain directly. All three of them communicate with each other. So if you're stressed, if you eat a lot of processed food, if you drink a lot of alcohol, sugary drinks, if you've taken antibiotics and it's damaged the quality and diversity of your gut bacteria, then basically it sends the wrong signals to the gut neurons and the brain, and that starts to create brain fog and an inability to trust your intuition, because it may just be taking shortcuts for your survival all the time now, rather than using the wisdom that you've picked up in your life and, putting patterns together that can guide you. Doing all the right things to build up your gut microbiome, like prebiotic foods, probiotics, fermented foods like kimchi and sauerkraut and kefir and kombucha, is also a good way to future-proof yourself against those problems.
For probiotics, Dr. Tara has a couple of tips on selecting probiotics.
But any capsule that's got over 50 billion strains of bacteria, that will be good. There are a few strains of bacteria called psychobiotics that if you take them for a month, you have improved insomnia, less anxiety. People have even been able to lower the dose of their antidepressant medication or come off it completely just by taking a probiotic. So some of the research that's been done with probiotics, they are doing a trial at King's College London on probiotics for Parkinson's disease. Probiotics have been used as the treatment, not an adjunct, the treatment for urinary tract infections.
In addition to probiotics and omega-3s, Dr. Tara also recommends some vitamins. Vitamin D.
A lot of people in the Western world, and particularly closer to the poles, are vitamin D deficient. And a lot of countries fortify milk or cereals with vitamin D, but still we are vitamin D deficient. We just simply don't get enough sun, which is our natural way of manufacturing vitamin D inside our body if we're not getting it through our nutrients. The UK government and NHS is now saying that we should all be taking vitamin D for 9 months of the year. It used to be sort of 3 months, 6 months when it's winter kind of thing, but now we need to be building up those levels proactively. Vitamin D has, we've always known that it's protective against certain cancers later in life. And the B vitamins, they're sort of for the whole nervous system. The B6, the B1, the B12, the folate, all of those good things, they're required for our entire nervous system, not just the central nervous system, and they combat things like fatigue. So basically, if we take antioxidants, they mop up those free radicals and reduce the damage that's caused by the severe pro-oxidant processes, but also just the natural aging processes. So basically, omega oils, antioxidants, the B vitamins, those are kind of the top three.
Now Dr. Tara Swart will discuss on 3 types of foods that cause oxidative stress. First, the processed foods.
Particularly if we eat processed food or smoked food or are under a lot of stress, that is our pro-oxidant processes that release these free radicals. And these free radicals cause cell death. So cell death to neurons, but just general cell death. And that's what aging is really. And that process of cell death is called apoptosis, just for the science geeks out.
Second is burnt or smoked foods.
Not eating smoked food. So smoked food is very pro-oxidant. So that will undo a lot of the good of taking antioxidants. And, I used to love smoked salmon, but I stopped it at the age of 30 when I started that reverse aging diet.
Third is foods that cause glucose spikes, which we have discussed in depth in the previous video here.
What your brain uses to think, your cognitive resources, are glucose and oxygen. And glucose is the breakdown products of a healthy diet. It's not refined sugar. Because that would completely spike your glucose level, and then the insulin would work quickly to bring it down. So then you wouldn't have resources left for your brain. But if you eat low glycemic index foods, a decent amount of glucose is going to last for longer.
Lastly, intermittent fasting may help with the brain health.
I only eat between 12 noon and 8 p.m, but you could do 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So that kind of fasting is very beneficial for your brain as well, but only if you've got the foundations right. It's not going to help you if you don't. Well, it helps to regulate your blood sugar levels. Spiking blood sugar levels aren't good for your body or your brain. Fasting and calorie restriction, they do have brain health and longevity benefits, but only if your foundations are right. Somebody who's stressed or eats badly or doesn't sleep enough will not benefit from time-restricted eating or intermittent fasting, because it is a form of stress on your body, but it's a form of stress that your body can take and use to build resilience if the baseline level of stuff is good.